Look guys, where we are, the event area. Okay, for the anniversary. And well, we're almost done with it. I wanted to do this or something, but I've been sick for a few days, okay? And I couldn't show this before. But well, I think you all already know this, right? There are tons of ash trees. We haven't seen it since day one, except a few days ago with our Russian friend. He updated the map, okay? He updated this map to add the little trees, okay? These little trees didn't appear in the original map. Now there are a ton of trees. And we're going to try to get them all, if we can. Okay, maybe we'll miss one. It could happen, but I'm going to try to get them all. Okay? I'll try, at least for that. We're going to try a little trick. Okay, let's see if it works. We're going to try this trick that I think Jordi Escalera told me about the other day, but I'm not sure if I understood it right, and today Zako reminded me about it. Let's hope that's the case, okay? So how do we do this trick? We take out almost all the gas, we leave as little as possible, we get in the SUV, okay? And we start driving it until this little bit of gas runs out. I recommend you leave as little as possible. A small bottle of gas is enough, okay? We start using it up. And when there's no more gas left, which I hope doesn't take too long to use up, here it is. There's no gas left. We walk out of the map, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Here, slowly, well, just so you don't have to wait. We leave the map with the SUV, come back in, and now we grab the rest and enter the map. And now that we want to go farm ash, I'm going to walk, okay? But with this trick, let's see if it works, okay? We have to cover a lot of ground, but look, we're in the swamp, and the swamp doesn't hurt us anymore. Okay, you can do the whole event like this if you want. It's a way to not use up gas, then you just summon it and all that. But for farming ash specifically, it's cool. I'm not gonna use this kind of trick though. Honestly, since I have gas, and a lot of gas, and I have an off-roader, I like coming as I am. No, I don't need to do this trick, but today I'm going to do it. And like this. So you can see it. It's there for anyone who wants to take advantage of it. Listen to Zako. He's the one who explained it to me really well. The other day, Jordi Escalera told me about it. Maybe he explained it well, and I just misunderstood. So, we simply have a map, right? So since we have a map, we're going to grab everything. Besides that, since we have the salmon soup, let's try gathering with the salmon soup. How much ash wood is there here, in theory? I think about 380 anyway. I have around 20 axes and a third, approximately. All right? I think the total amount of ash wood here, if I'm not mistaken, is 380 on this map. In any case, we know what you get from each tree. Okay, with the salmon soup, you don't get a crazy amount more, but since we can't bring it now, alright, we'll just take it as it is. Let's grab some ash wood quickly. I'm picking up everything I see. Pop, pop, pop. Let's see if I can do it in phases, by areas, okay? So I can collect everything, alright? The problem is that in this area, automatic mode doesn't work unless you set it yourself. The character won't go for the ash tree, you have to walk there yourselves. So you know, slowly, take your time, pop, 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 and make it work. Ash tree here, ash tree there, come on. The bad thing about this is the 8 hits. If they had reduced it when they reduced copper and all that, it would be cool, okay? I think they didn't get the first 3, number 3. There's another one over there. Let's see if you can catch them all. Honestly, for anyone who wants to farm ash before the update comes, since we don't know if it's going to be harder to farm ash, the swamp reward and all that, take advantage and farm from here. Regardless of whether you use the trick or not. Okay, I was gonna come here walking without using the trick. Okay, no problem. Because the other day we did it walking. And it practically doesn't hurt you either. I mean, if you do it right, with the roll, with whatever, it practically doesn't hurt you. So, well, look, there's one here in the middle of the water, and well, you could come naked so your clothes don't get torn, but there's someone who's in the middle of the water. Alright, if you come, you know, you're going to take some damage. There's no other way. Either you do the trick, or you're going to take damage. It's not crazy either, but just so you know, this one that's right here in the water, okay, there's no other way. Hey, there are more ash trees in the water than it seems. You can just ignore the few that are there if you don't do the trick, or if this trick gets patched. You can just ignore them and that's it. Or you can come and do this. I understand the TV is breaking. I don't mind. Can it be fixed with aluminum or other materials? Okay, it's not such a big problem, but just so you know, those of you who are in the water can ignore them or make your ATV suffer immense pain. Okay, we're out of salmon soup, let's have another one. I brought bronze salmon soup, the one that lasts 10 minutes, because since we can't bring it, we don't need to come quickly anymore. A gold salmon soup lasts longer, while the cheaper version uses bronze salmon. And yes, we have to pay more attention. Eat it more often, when the first or the previous one runs out, and that's it. But that's the only problem, and that you have to spend more time or watch more ads to make the soup. But at least, it's much cheaper in the end. Goldfish are much more expensive to get, and bronze fish, especially salmon, are super easy to get. I'm going to bring this tree that doesn't show up on the map. I think it's an ash tree, and it's marked on the Russian map. Let's see. Mrs. Ashlog. Look, this is interesting. I was looking at it and I thought there has to be an ash tree here, so I came. It doesn't show up on the game's mini-map, just a curiosity, okay? But it did show up on the Russian's map. The Russian knows more than Kefir. Another one here, another one here. This is another ash tree. It doesn't show up on the mini-map, okay? The Russians beating the Russians. Yes, sir. The Russian who made the map. Better than the Russians from Kefir. Look, here's another map over here. This other one of these. Done, okay? Look, I'm going to mark these. I'll mark the border, okay? Of the ones that are made, more are in the water. Come on, another roll since it just recharged. Damn, there are a ton. Check out this area. There are a lot of these in the water. You already know, if you do the trick, you can do it perfectly and grab it, okay? But if not, you can leave them, even if there are a lot of trees. Even if there are, I think there are 180 trees in total or something like that. Or 160, I don't know. A ton of trees. If you leave 10 or 15 trees without collecting them, it's not a big deal, okay? I mean, if there are a lot of trees here in the water, you're gonna have to spend a minute or 3 minutes here in the water collecting trees, okay? You'll end up without healing or anything, okay? Collect everything if you do the trick right, but if not, just skip these trees. That's it. Alright, salmon soup is done. Let's go for the other one. I think this one was finished a while ago. Besides, I had forgotten about this salmon soup. I didn't even remember I had it. So come on, let's quickly grab it and get going and see if I remember. In the end, more about the salmon soup. But because I think that half the time, well, not half the time, but for some trees I haven't. I mean, there have been times when I've gone 5 or 10 minutes without having the salmon soup, okay? But anyway, let's see what we can get, okay? And let's see if the salmon soup, which has been active for quite a while, let's see if we have it. We're missing this tree and this one on the right side. We're back, everyone! All the trees are collected, so let's check the salmon soup and see how much break we get. I've collected everything because I brought it with me. In theory, it's 19 the other day, we calculated it, and it's 19.5 axes. Since I had a third of an axe at the base, I could only get 19.3, okay? So then I made one more axe, and I brought 20.3, so I should have had about 0.8 of an axe left over. Maybe a little less, because I hit a few trees as usual, okay? So, how much ash wood did we get, okay? Well, let's check it in a moment, alright? 100, 100, 200, 300, 402 of ash wood. I don't think I've ever done an ash wood farm like this before, in just one area, that's for sure, but I don't remember ever doing such a big ash wood farm. It's been at least years for sure. 402 of ash wood. How much ash wood is there in this area? Well, look, there are 189 trees. Damn, so 189 trees, it's almost enough, right? I thought it was 180. No, it's 189 times 2, right? 378, right? If we subtract the 402 we had, we've got 24 extra. It's not a lot, right? The salmon soup, but keep in mind that there were times when it took us about 50 minutes to farm everything, okay? Also, I went to gather. If you don't collect these types of trees like this one here, okay? It's better. You lose 2 minutes gathering a tree, okay? If a tree isn't right in the middle of a lake or whatever, just skip it and move on, okay? We gathered about 24 extra trees. I think maybe we could have gotten 30, 35, or 40 if I had been scrupulous with all the time. The salmon soup still isn't bad. We've gotten 24 extras. The extra ash tree with the salmon soup is justified for me, especially since we have salmon soup made with bronze salmon, okay? But it's not just that. I've also brought more than 400 ash trees, okay? These are actually 80 planks, and we have 2 little logs left over here. 80 planks is a lot, okay? That's a lot of levels. I think it's 11 planks, right? Going up 1 level, that's more than 7 levels of a shelf in a single trip, okay? Or the equivalent of whatever you want in whatever you want, okay? But guys, 402 ash in a single farm run, which is not bad at all. Another great trick to avoid hurting yourselves. Anyone can take advantage of it, or just collect the ash whenever you want. There are only a few days left, so make the most of it. This benefits both off-road vehicle owners and especially those without, who gain even more.